Hello. Hmm. You feel so good today. Oh, I'm just not reading that what it says. About the top messages. I didn't know that. I didn't know the reason for that. You see it? You're not on here. My feet, my legs. Hmm. I'm just not realizing that. Hey, Brilliant. Hey, Brilliant. Happy Wednesday. How has your day been? Brilliant. What time do you go to sleep? You know what, Brilliant? I didn't think about that until this morning when you were catching some of my shorts. I was like, what time does Brilliant go to sleep? Hey, Sassy. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's hump day, so you know what that means. We're halfway through the week. Halfway through the week. I know most of y'all are ready for the weekend. Ready for the weekend. I don't know. I say this often now, but I appreciate each and every day. Each and every day is a blessing. But I mean, for most of us, if you're off on the weekend, guess what? It flies by so fast. So I'm like, just take it slow. Take it slowly. Take it slowly. Enjoy each day. Don't be so eager to just, I know we're eager to be off. I know that it is, it's nice to be off on the weekends if you don't work weekends. Hi, Mr. West. Mr. West, peace and gratitude, sis. Just getting ready to start my overnight shift. Had to tap in. I appreciate you for tapping in. And I just asked Brilliant, when does she sleep? So, Mr. West, you work overnight as well. So do you so do you guys sleep better in the mornings or better in the evenings? I work nights since I work graveyard shift at the airport. Right, right. So I'd be bored uh, between flights. Lots of downtime on my shift. Yep, yeah. The airports can get busy, but overnights I can see that being, downtime. Yes, yes. So glad it's hump day. Brilliant. I hear you there, sis. Okay, 8 to 5 in the morning. It's okay, okay. Mr. West, welcome to the chat, fellow graveyard worker. So, do you sleep better, like when you get off, Brilliant, or do you? I thought something was biting me. It was just an itch. Do you sleep better when you get off, or do you like sleep better in the evening, like maybe 6 to 8 hours before, right before work? I used to. I have worked overnights before. I have, and I guess I would. I would if I needed, if they needed me to. But I prefer, I prefer like day shift to come home. I prefer each shift for a different reason. But I think overall, I think I would prefer evening shift. But because you do come home like 4 o'clock, day shift is what I would like to do. But y'all, I don't know. A lot of times I'll do both of those. But overnights, I like each shift for a different reason. Okay, day shift, it's a lot of people running around. it's kind of a headache, but you get to get off and go home and be with your family. Okay, evening shift, you don't get to be with your family, especially if you have school age kids. So I don't like it because of that, but I do like it because everybody in administration goes home. All of the, like the CEOs, the owners and administrators, they go home. And so it is more like a family-like environment on the job. In the evenings, it's like those first 3 to 4 hours, like two to six or 3 to 7. You know, you're kind of working. You're working, but then around 7, a little after 7:30, you know it starts to wind down. You're trying to get you something in to eat before it gets too late, because the next thing you know it's like 9 o'clock. At that point, you're starting to count down if you get off at 10 or 11. So I think evening shift has always been my best shift because administration leaves, and then I don't have to worry about getting sleepy. You know, unless I've worked like a double the day before. I don't worry about getting sleepy. Now nights could be my best, but it's just something about it. If I stay up at all night at home, yeah, I probably won't even get sleepy. But if I was to stay up all night at work, that's a different story. It's harder. It's harder. Because at home, if you stay up, like, okay, say it's 11 p.m., and you start to get sleepy around 1 or 2, you can go to bed, which you should be in bed anyway, or you can take a nap, get up again around 4 o'clock, you know, but when you're at work, and a lot of times at home, you don't even get sleepy. If you're not a night owl, you don't get sleepy. But even for some of us night owls, like if we take on a job working 11 to 7 or 10 to 6 in the morning, we get so sleepy. We get so sleepy at work. Let's see, Mr. West, welcome to the chat. Okay, I saw that. Thank you for the welcome, sis. Brilliant. It's the vampire line. Okay. Oh my goodness. Well, I have to get up at 4 a.m. My shift is 6 to 2:30. That's early. And you have to get up 2 hours early? 2 hours before, Sassy? Like, if I go to work at 6 a.m., I get up like, I get up like 5. I get up at 5. Mr. West says second shift is the worst. Everything is closed when you get off, and it's too early in the daylight. Brian says Mr. West, I work 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I sleep sporadically, like 3 to 4 hours at a time. Laugh out loud. It's super hard to adjust to. I've been graveyard for about 9 years now. You do a lot. Yeah, you do a lot of sleeping during the day. Yep. Overnight isn't bad as long as you can stay woke. Yes. See, overnight. You know, I talked about administration leaving and all this kind of stuff. The big bosses leaving. So evenings, it's kind of like, you know, they leave. If you go in at 3, they leave around 5. So that's 2 hours down. You got 6 to go. Well, between 5 and 7, there's a good bit of work to be done. Maybe even 5 to 8. Then you're trying to get your bite to eat. And next thing you know, it's time to go. Now, at the beginning of the shift, it doesn't seem like it's going to fly like that. But, so I like that because, I don't know, we're just more relaxed on evenings. People aren't so, it's not as many people there. Not just the administration, but the general staff is fewer during the evenings, just like it is at nights. Night shift, they have usually less staff than evening shift. So I like that. The only thing I didn't like when my kids were younger is that my parents and my siblings would help them with work, their homework. But I didn't like it because being the way I am, even when I got off at 11 o'clock, you know, it's like I had to get them. That's why I didn't like it either. I had to get them home. And like usually the morning, we're kind of going over work just to make sure that I know that they got it. Like I trusted my parents, I trusted my siblings, but I still wanted to make sure. You know, I wanted to make sure. So that was kind of hard, even though I loved the evening shift, the 2 to 10. I either did 2 to 10 or 3 to 11. I loved that. But that was the downside to it. You know, relying on somebody else to kind of make sure that their work is done and done correctly. So what happened was I finally got my shift changed to where I would work every other weekend instead of Monday through Friday. And I only worked, instead of a 5 day, like a 10-day pay period, I worked an 8-day pay period. So I would work 3 weekdays and every other weekend. So I would work like maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, off Thursday, Friday, work Saturday, Sunday. That was 5. And then I would, what I say, work Saturday, Sunday, be off Monday. And then Monday and Tuesday work Wednesday, Thursday. Something like that. I think that's the way it was. Or I may have been. So I worked out to like an 8-day pay period. So that way I could stay on the shift that I enjoyed. And at least 2 weekdays I was at home in the evenings with the kids. Girl Dad in here. What's going on, Girl Dad? Good evening, Lunch Pride, and everyone in the chat. How you doing? Brilliant says, yes, Mr. West, Vampire Shift is a class of its own. About 3 to 6:30 a.m. I gotta get creative, shaking my head and get fired for sleeping. I know, and that's the thing. I like that shift. I like that shift. I like the overnight shift, but when you get sleepy, you get sleepy. And that's, look, that the way it worked for us, that's when somebody will pop up who's usually there from 8 to 5. They just pop up just to check on us and see what we're doing. Or you'd have the supervisor who's on duty. 9 times out of 10, when you're the sleepiest, the strictest supervisor is on duty. The real strict person is on duty when you get sleepy. When you're working overnights, somebody from 8 to 5 is gonna pop in there on you and see if you're awake. Hello. Or they're gonna pop in there on you and see if you're awake. Or they're gonna have the strictest boss on that shift. You can't go to sleep. You can't go to sleep. You can sneak off and catch a few Z's sometimes, depending on your crew. Girl Dad, how are you today, King? It's only Monday through Wednesday at the office, Thursday and Friday, working at home. Brian says, Mr. West, yes. West says, Brian, I like working on my own. Don't mind sometimes, but I enjoy my peace. Yes, away from, the workplace buffoonery. Right. And see, that's why, like I said, I love day shift as far as the time goes. Now, it's the busiest shift, so I don't like that being the busiest shift. I try to stay away from it, but I tend to go back to it because you get to come home. And you're home, like Mr. West said, that you get off at 3 o'clock. Even if you get off at 4 o'clock, some places and some things that you need to do as far as handling business, they're open. So I don't do everything online. Y'all know I don't do all of my business online. So I like to get off when things are open still. And so that is the good thing about, the AM day shift. Like I said, evening shift, it's more family oriented because there are fewer people there. We kind of look out for each other. If you have to, depending on your job, you can slip off for a minute to go take care of personal business as long as you're not gone half the shift. You can make it work depending on the place. But even if you can't leave work, a lot of times that's a good shift because, again, it seems like people are a little bit more peaceful. There are fewer people there, and we're kind of trying to look out for each other. But then night shift, same thing. There's even fewer people on night shifts, but it's the staying awake part. You got to stay awake. You've got to stay awake. Hey, lovely Samara, how are you? Glad to have you in the chat. I'm sorry, I'm just now seeing your comment. I hope everybody welcomes Samara, lovely Samara in. Thank you for coming into the live today. Retirement days. Hey, Betty. I miss a lot of people. I miss a couple of people running my mouth. Brian says sometimes when I have a good night, I can sleep for a quick hour and a half while I'm right. Yeah, brilliant. Look, sometimes you gotta catch those naps. And when you work those shifts like that, it's good to have somebody who is who's trustworthy, who's looking out for you. It's not necessarily doesn't necessarily mean that you want to slack off at work. Sometimes even if you get proper sleep, when you work overnights like that, you get sleepy because that's just what your body, it's just like when we talked about daylight and sunset. You know, it's the sky is blue right now. And even though we may be sleepy, we may have worked earlier today and we all may need a nap or something like that, your body is meant to kind of work or be up. Not just work like clocking in, I mean just work in general at home. It's meant to be up during the day. That's the healthier way. And then kind of get yourself tired out. By evening, by sunset, you start to wind down and you know it's time to go to sleep. At night it's time to go to sleep. But there are jobs that, have to have people employed at night. And so people learn to adjust. They get their circadian rhythm going the right way. They have to learn to adjust. Because sometimes you apply for some jobs, guess what? The first shift that they're going to have available, usually if they're 24/7, is going to be overnight. Overnight. And sometimes you hate it, but you do it to get your foot in the door. Get yourself a Monster Energy drink and you'll be straight. Or have a coworker you're cool with. Yeah, right. They let them tap you. Mr. West say hit you with a taser. Brilliant says, girl, dad, glad to hear. Blessings to you, King. Peace and gratitude, girl, dad. Everybody speaking to Betty. Thank you guys for speaking to everybody that I missed. I've done overnight shift, and baby, I was fighting. The last hour, it was from 11 p.m. to 4, then from 4 to 2. Never again. See, some people, we just can't do it. And then, lovely Samara, I'm the type. I hope I'm saying your name right. So, is it Samara? Lovely Samara. I'm the type will stay up all night at home. Now, granted, I will maybe take a nap, but when I'm off the next day, 11 o'clock hits. That's almost like 7 a.m. for me. And I'll be up to like maybe 3 o'clock and get a nap. And then I'll do one of two things. If I'm off the next day, I might sleep to 10 or 11. But sometimes I'll get fall asleep around 12, wake up around 3 or 4. And then I'm up until like maybe 7 and then sleep until like maybe 9 or 10. But when I'm having to clock in or sign in on somebody's job, you can't always do that. You can't always do that. And then there are times when I'm at home and I can stay up all night. Like no nap, just stay up all night. It's not good. It's not good to do that. But I'm just saying, it's so funny how your mind and your body, how they work like that. When it comes to work and overnight job, it's harder to stay up because you have to. You're supposed to. You have to. You're supposed to. But when you're home, you're sitting up looking crazy, looking around the room. Like when I stay up all night, I'm looking around, just maybe watching TV, watching YouTube, or just on Google, Googling things I've thought about or I wonder about or I figure, just anything. So that's what I do. And I'm like, I'm a night owl. I am a night owl. Again, I might catch a nap, but basically I'm a night owl. But let me go and have to work at somebody's job, at somebody's place of employment around 2 a.m. Oh my goodness. Like you get there at 11, maybe 10 or 11, you're good to like maybe 1 or 2. Oh my goodness, 1 or 2 is just like if you could just get 30 minutes to an hour. And like Mr. West said, if you have somebody that you're cool with, they can tap you and wake you up. Or they can watch out for you just in case somebody decides to make a pop-up visit, just to check on everybody and see if what you're doing if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So, when you get on those shifts, like I said, I think people have closer bonds on those shifts because you do have to look out for each other sometimes. I think people on evening shift and on the overnight shift, I think they're closely bonded because they do have to look out for each other. But y'all already know there's always going to be a snitch. I hate to even use that word because it's a word that should be able to be used, but it's used in such a wrong way these days. You can't even use it in just in a light and funny way. You always gonna have somebody who's gonna tell on you. All the work is getting done, everything is straight. Then you got that one person that's just gonna tell on you. Mr. West, Breeze, Mr. West, I have 3 hours left before I punch in. Have a great night, King. See you next time. Is Mr. West who's leaving? Is Mr. West leaving or is Brilliant leaving? Mr. West, I got you. Thank you, Mr. West, for coming through. Always appreciate it. Always welcome. Thank you for the conversation. Lovely says, "Yep, I do that sometimes at home. Stay up to 3, but I've also been trying to create interesting posts for my business." Okay, okay. See, that's good. That's good. You have a business. That's good. You have a business. Hopefully that business will, or hopefully that business is, and or will be prosperous enough that you can sleep whenever you want to. Okay, whenever you want to. Mr. West says, "Brilliant. Believe me, I've seen people get fired in many silly ways. Co-worker got fired sitting on it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Because Mr. West, a lot of people do that. They will go to the bathroom, you know, and they will go in there and that's where they hide it to sleep. And that's okay if you tell somebody, if you got somebody looking out for you. But if you don't tell anybody and you don't have that relationship, see, that's what I mean when I say when you work those shifts, you have to have, it has to be a buddy system. You got to have people who you can depend on to look out for you, to watch for you. Brian says, "Exactly, that's right. I'm glad I have a trusted team. Yes, I look out for them and vice versa." Right, right. Girl, dad, what you laughing about? Mr. West says, "Brilliant. Peace and gratitude. Since I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, going by Eastern time zone, but definitely looking forward to catching up with you, family." Yes, y'all catch up with each other. Definitely, definitely, definitely. See, over here, that's what we want to do. We like to motivate each other, uplift each other, and something even as simple as this conversation right here. It could be somebody in the chat who's having a hard time. They have no choice and they have to work overnight. And then they can talk to y'all, or we can give them suggestions on things to do to stay awake. Like, we're being lighthearted and funny about it, but the truth is, a lot of people have a hard time staying up overnight. But like I said, as soon as they're off, like they're at home, they can't go to sleep. And see, that's another thing about working overnights. When you're at work, isn't that funny? You get sleepy maybe 2 or 3 times at work, right? You search and look for a way to find a nap. But then on your off days from work, your off nights, you don't even get sleepy. I've heard people say that they don't even get sleepy. And the first thing that they'll say is, "Well, I guess it's because I'm used to working nights." And then I'll ask, I said, "Well, when you're at work though, do you get sleepy at work?" And then they'll start laughing. They're like, "Yeah." So it's so funny how you can work overnights and you get sleepy at work. Then on your off nights at home, you're wide awake. You don't even get sleepy. It ain't for everybody, and you gotta have a good, yes, reputation, or they will exploit you. I'm in Seattle. We will catch up again soon, King. Yes, Brilliant. You can put your link and put Mr. West link in there so that you guys can make sure. Because I know you can go to his channel because you're a mod, but put his link in there. Drop your link so that you guys and whoever wants theirs to be dropped, so that you'll be able to chat with each other. And see, that's my thing. A lot of times people they come to like one place. They only see each other in like one place. You never know when you're gonna go live, or you never know when you're gonna upload a video. You want to be able to know where each other are. Be subscribed, hit that notification bell so that you'll know every time they upload, so that you can, continue to network. I think that's what the app is all about. You find people in different places, and then, just depending, because, YouTube has like boxes, blocks and boxes. Sometimes you prefer not to be in a certain box or block, But go to the ones that you do like. When you're in a place that you like and you see like-minded people, you just want to connect and join with them and network. To me, it's truly and honestly all about networking. Whether you have a business or not, you know, maybe you don't have to own your own business. It's just networking. Your business may be the business of growing your YouTube channel. Some people have aspirations to be big time YouTubers, and not so much some big time and some maybe not big time, but big enough to maybe have an additional income or a supplemental income. And so I think that people should promote networking. It's just so funny, like you just never really know what to do on here because they don't like sub for sub type of stuff. They don't like that type of stuff. And then you try to contact them to figure out, okay, what exactly do you mean? I kind of know exactly what they mean, because some people it's so obvious. And then I see people with Nightbot, and I'm like, after they get so many subscribers and get so much support, it seems like a lot of them leave Nightbot alone. So I don't know if that's really a good way to do it or not. But I have seen people grow their channels by using Nightbot, and I've seen people grow their channels without Nightbot. But those who use Nightbot, not all, but a lot of the ones that I've noticed that use Nightbot, once they get to a certain number, once they get to a certain number, they leave it alone. So it's just hard to know. You can read the community guidelines and all this stuff, and you feel like you have an understanding, and next thing you know, you get an email. You get an email. That's why I don't even try, because I want to be able to do whatever I want to do. I want to share whoever's content that I want to share, as long as it's okay with them. If you have too much other stuff on your channel, that's not a good thing. And I can understand that to a degree. I can understand that because you can't alter it. You can change it. But then you got to wonder, have I edited enough? Have I changed it enough? If you go and you see something you like on TikTok, right, and you bring it to YouTube, and that's fine. It's okay. But the thing about it is you have to have edited it enough that it adds some type of different meaning or provides some commentary over it. So I'm like, man, forget that. I just like to post it. You just want to post it. Sometimes it's cute. And if the owner, says, hey, hump your brakes, don't put my stuff up, then you gotta take it down. You gotta take it down. And I know that they do that to, protect people and their property, because some people will just use your stuff and get paid off of it. So it is a business, right? It is a business. And like we talked about before, Puff's Tissue can't just go into a place and take over and start saying, you know what, we're Kleenex now. Even though Kleenex is no longer it's kind of like a universal thing. It could be a Walmart brand, you can say Kleenex, and they're not gonna sue you. But I'm just saying, your property, your intellectual property, it does need to be a way that it's protected. I just subbed up to Mr. West. If you are still here, please subscribe to Mr. West. He is on the road to 200. That's good. That's good. That's good. Brilliant. Congratulations. 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 Yes, that's good. That's good. That's good. The road to 200. Lovely Samara says, thank you. I'm going by faith. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going backwards, y'all. I'm sorry. Very, very true, Lines Pride. You know what, Lines Pride, that issue. That is true. Yeah. It's like they tell you to grow your channel, right? And I heard a person today said that their monetization was taken. And she didn't know why. So, they give you the reason, but I guess she couldn't understand why, because she had been monetized and that same content was on her channel. So that means it doesn't matter if it slips by whoever decides whether to monetize you or not. If it slips by them and you get monetized, well, you're monetized. But at any given time, they can look at your channel for whatever reason and see that maybe you used other people's content for 6 or 7 months, a lot, and they can take your monetization. So I see people alter the other content a lot, like other YouTube content, other TikTok content. I see that. But then it's just too confusing to me, because They say you can do that and you're okay as far as monetization. But it still doesn't necessarily mean you're okay as far as copyright. You know? So to me, because think about it, if Brilliant and I did a video, we did a TikTok, okay, on her, say her TikTok thing, or mine, whichever. And then somebody saw it on YouTube and they, they did some commentary over it and they edited it. Well, as far as I guess guidelines go, YouTube is okay with that. But as far as me or Brilliant goes, we may not be okay with that. So we can still strike, do a copyright strike. But I'm like, you've done that editing and that work for nothing if that person decides to do that. But then I have to still, it goes back to, I have to realize that that's their intellectual property though. That is their property. So, and it's hard to get paid, and they're not going to make it that easy for you to get paid. If they made it that easy for you to get paid, then that would become a problem with them making money. So I understand, but that's why I don't even mess with the monetization, because it's too much. And then I know that I do like using other stuff. Now, if somebody says, if they send me an email saying take it down, I take it down. And if they, sometimes they'll say, they won't strike you, that they'll just say any money that you make off of that has to be, I guess shared with them or given to them or whatever. I'm like, I don't want to go through all that. I don't want to go through all that, because I'd rather just go to work. Now, if unemployed and you have a lot of time to do that kind of stuff, to edit that stuff, to make sure that you don't do that, then that's a good thing. Going by faith. Thank you, Brilliant. Okay, I dropped Sassy Retirement Days. Thank you, Brilliant Girl Dad and Mr. Westlake. I hope it's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Wanted to be fair. My apologies for not asking you all in advance. Please link if it was okay. Yes, that's fine. If it's okay with them, that's fine, because I noticed that you two guys, you guy and girl, you guys were, y'all were talking. I noticed that y'all were talking. So I didn't want to, I'm glad you did that, because now I don't feel like anybody was left out. But I do like to try to ask, because like we were talking the other day, some people like to be shared and some people don't. And you know what? I don't even take offense to it, because I can understand why. I've heard people get mad. I've heard content creators get mad at other content creators for not giving them enough credit for helping them to grow. And so I truly do understand when people are like, nah, I'll just do it. I just do it the best I can. I really understand that, because imagine that. Imagine if somebody shouts you out a couple of times, or they, share your link a couple of times, right? And then like shortly after, or you become monetized, or you get the 500 subscribers or whatever, your goal is. They're going to take credit for it, and sometimes they'll hold that over your head. And they won't look at the fact that, okay, maybe you were like 425, you were only 75 away anyway. So you're doing pretty good. So maybe after they shout you out, you get like maybe 10 more. So they kind of help you along the way. But then the other, the rest of it, you obtain it yourself, just like you did the first 425. People would really get mad and say, I helped them grow their channel. I did this and I did that. Yes, you contributed. You did. But when you shouted that person out, that person is going to pay attention. If they know that you shouted them out, they're going to pay attention. And they may say, okay, when she shouted or he shouted me out, I got like 10 new subscribers. And y'all know how YouTube is going to make sure that they're legit or whatever. So you need to interact with each other. And if you do really like each other, do that. It can just be liking the videos. Just interact. And sometimes they may take like 2 of the 10. And then maybe they'll give you a couple back. You never know which ones they took, until a person may say, I was subscribed to you, and all of a sudden I'm not. Sometimes that's just them making sure. But if a person says, go check out Brilliant, and Brilliant is sitting like on, like I said, 425. And so Brilliant knows that they shouted her out, and now she's at 435. Okay, and that person, say 2 weeks from now, Brilliant hits 500. Well, who did the bulk of that work? Who did the bulk of that work? Brilliant had herself 425 subscribers before the shout out. After the shout out, she got an additional 10, 8 to 10, if 8 stuck and 2 didn't. And then within 2 weeks of all of that, she hit 501, 502. Brilliant built her own channel, okay? Brilliant built her own channel. And you assisted, you helped out. But if that's the case, if you want that much credit for that shout out, then each and every one of those 500 subscribers should want credit. Y'all see what I'm saying? So a lot of times that's why people don't like to be shared and don't like for their links to be dropped, you know. So when over here I try to ask people if it's okay, and if it's somebody who I've had a lot of interaction with, I tend to kind of typically know. We'll say don't delete, you know, and I know why. So I don't have a problem with it. I would have a problem with anybody who says don't drop my link because it's their link. But I do like to try and be fair. If I drop somebody's, I want to make sure that we can get everybody that we can. I've even made people temporary mods so that I can make sure, you know, not to overwork one mod. You're making blankets? Okay. So, Bring, I can't remember. Please like this live and feel free to share it out. Thanks in advance. Thank you, Brilliant. Thank you, Brilliant. Oh no, I don't like that. That is very selfish. Right. It's like giving someone an outfit to wear, and while you're out, they'll announce you got that stuff on. They'll announce you got that stuff on. When you didn't even ask for the outfit. Very, very childish. Right. Lovely. Brilliant. Were we able to get to Lovely Samara? Oh, if I leave it, it won't let me come. I think it'll knock me out. I think we got you on Lovely Samara as well. I don't remember. Lovely Samara, have you been here before? I don't remember you. You may have been here before, and I just don't remember you. If you have, I'm sorry. But I do thank you, and I appreciate you for contributing to the conversation. And that's what it's all about. Just us having good, grown, adult-like, mature conversation. And I don't mind sharing anybody out who brings that to the chat. I don't mind sharing anybody out who brings that to the chat. Yes, there is definitely a spirit of entitlement on this app. Unfortunately, yes. I'm trying to scroll back up because I can't remember. I know you got quite a few. It's in blue, and for some reason I can't see it because it's really dark. And I don't want to hit it and knock myself out of here. I don't know if it'll do that. I thought you listed everybody. I can't find it. Let me see. These people in their music, but his wasn't so bad. His wasn't loud. See, that's another thing. Sometimes you have, hey, April. Sometimes you have no clue who's gonna, pass by you when you're outside and blast that music. This is your second time? Okay, Lovely Samara, I appreciate you. I'm trying to figure out if Brilliant dropped your link, because for some reason I can't see. It's darker. I see her mod blue, but the link blue is much darker. And I cannot see it in this. Let me take these shades off. Yeah, I still can't see it. Let's see. She says, okay, I dropped Sassy Retirement Days, Girl Dad, Mr. West links. Okay. Brilliant. If you're still here, can you please drop Lovely Samara's link? If you can't, I will put it on my community wall in April Showers. Hey, April. How you doing, April? April just entered the live. She's speaking to everybody. Thank you. I'm glad that you came. We've enjoyed you because you definitely contributed to the conversation. And that's the thing. Sometimes, like I said, y'all, like, people want to say they help grow your channel, or they help you get to a milestone. What difference does it make? Listen, again, if a person has 425 subscribers and you give them a shout out and they get like maybe 8 to 10 more, 2 weeks later they hit 500. Yeah, you contributed, you helped, and they notice a jump, but they did the hard work and they grew their own channel. Okay, they did the hard work, because before that shout out they had 425, so they were doing something right. Okay, they were doing something right. April says I get no. April, I know, right? April, this morning I was getting notifications from people, and the lives was like 20 hours ago. And the way I got it, it was just like as if they had just gone live. So I don't know what's going on with that. I've been I hear a lot of people lately saying that they get late notifications. So I don't know what's going on with that. I'm gonna mute. If y'all don't hear me for a minute, I'm gonna mute because I'm passing by someone cutting grass. Hold on one second. Okay. Okay. Brian says, please subscribe to Lovely Samara and the other content creators in the chat. Thanks in advance. Thank you, Brilliant. I appreciate that. Yes, yes, yes. Y'all see what Brilliant said? Please do that for me. Please do that for me if you don't mind. Sassy says, April, can you drop? No, only a mod can drop their link. That's why I asked Brilliant to do it. And if she can't do it, because Brilliant been working. Brilliant been working. Brilliant, I see. I'm telling y'all, Brilliant is a great mod. That's why I didn't mod her earlier because she mods for so many people. But let me tell you, Brilliant, Brilliant is on top of it. She's gonna boost your channel, okay? She's gonna boost your channel. And see, that can be hard when you mod for a lot of people. Because I said people go live at the same time. And when people do that, and I mod for people who are live at the same time, I'll go in both. And what I usually do is I'll listen to both. Now sometimes, at one time, y'all, I was trying to listen to 3 or 4. It's like you don't even know what's going on in, because you can't differentiate. You know who's who, but it's like you're trying to pay attention to the things that you're already doing at home, and then you're trying to pay attention to 3 or 4, channels. So I was like, you know what? I'll catch them on the replay, and then I'll listen. And I don't even try to say, well, the next time if they're live at the same time, because you just never know when it's going to happen. So what I do is I'll go in to all of them and say hello, and ask people to welcome them in, ask them to subscribe, and then I'll kind of go back and forth for a while. Especially if one is only long. Sometimes you can tell who's going to be on for like 30 minutes or so, and opposed to like 2 or 3 hours. So if the person is normally on like an hour or 2, or longer, I tend to stay more in the other person's chat. That's like maybe 30 minutes, because I want to help them as much as I can in that 30 minutes. And then I'll still bounce back over to the other one. But if I know for sure that they typically stay on for like an hour, hour and a half, then when that person ends, I'll go over there. So it's hard. It's hard being a mod. And then it's just not only modding, there are other channels you may not mod for them, but you just want to enjoy the content. So Brilliant is very, very, that's why I asked Brilliant when does she sleep. I'm like, Brilliant, when do you sleep? Because Brilliant is a great mod. She's one of the best mods I've seen on here. And that's why I like to ask people, before modding them, because you just never know. And some people act like they're paying the mods. Now I know sometimes people do things to show appreciation, but still, we all could do that. That's not like a form of payment. I don't look at it. If I do something like that, I try not to look at it as a form of payment, because it's not a job. It's not paying anybody's bill. It's probably getting them a cup of coffee or 2, some lunch, and that's nice. That's to be commended, as a content creator who shows that appreciation. But sometimes people expect them to be there every live, and they'll say that they don't, but then they'll say, I need my mods. That's why we gotta make more than 1 or 2. But usually my chat, 1 or 2 is good. One or two is good. And plus, the content creator can do things too. We can do things too. I just don't think I can click on the links because I think I might be wrong, but I think that'll knock me out of the live. Bree says, no problem, lovely Samara. Thank you, Lunch Pride, for your positive space and for allowing us to drop our links. You are most appreciated. Of course, of course, of course. You're welcome. April Showers, would you like your link drop as well before I stop dropping links? Look at Brilliant. Brilliant says she's been working. Brian says, April says, I do stand in the gap to help people get subs and watch hours. Nobody owes me anything. I'm old school, 62. We help. Yeah, yes. Just help people. Just help people. And, where one won't appreciate it, another one will. Because some people do have a hard time. You know what? That should be alive. Learning to say thank you. You know how we often say, learn how to say no? A lot of grown people don't know how to say thank you. And I'm old school too. I was taught that if anybody does anything for you, especially that they don't have to do, and even if for some reason they have an obligation to, there's nothing wrong with saying thank you. When my parents fed us, when the dinner was set, when dinner was fixed, we said thank you. We told my mom thank you. And she would always say, y'all don't have to thank me for that. But she had taught us to say thank you for everything else. So you're my mom. Why would I not say thank you? That's how we all felt about it. Like all of us, we would always say thank you. Sassy says, I modded so many people. It was frustrating, especially when I started working again. Yeah, it can be hard. It can be hard. April says, brilliant. So I think Brilliant got April. Thank you, Brilliant. Thank you again. Thanks for hitting the like button and sharing the live. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Lions Pride. Thank you, Brilliant. Thank you, Brilliant. Yes, like, comment, and subscribe. Tap that doorbell. Y'all know what it is. I call it the doorbell. It's the notification bell so that you'll be notified the next time I upload a short or do another live video. I don't upload many videos. I don't know why. I guess because it's like, it feels funny talking to the camera. But I guess if you're just doing something and recording yourself doing something, it's not so strange. I don't think. But I just always feel like I have to record myself doing something and I have to pay a lot of attention to what I'm doing. Because I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I'll get to doing something, y'all, and get busy. And I'll forget the camera's on. I forget that the camera is on. Make sure your notification bell is set to all. Don't miss the positive walk time with us. Yes, that's what we're doing. We have positive walk time. We walk and we talk. We walk and we talk. Today was Wednesday, whatever. Just whatever we want to talk about. We've been all over the place. We have been all over the place. But I think we can say that for most days. April, my name is your name in Spanish. Okay, my name is Abril Queen. We are twins, sis. Yeah, you did say Abril is April in Spanish. No, April is Abril in Spanish. How you doing? Good. Y'all, there's another pretty dog. Look. He bigger. That one is one down there. He's so tiny and he barks so loud. And they ain't not gonna do nothing. Thank you. Sassy says, laugh out loud. Me too. I used to go to sleep watching people's videos. Yeah, because you try to, you want to give them the watch time. And so I was like, I exercise. I can't record myself exercising. I can't go live exercising because I'm telling you, I say it all the time. I'm all over the place. Like, I know what day it is. Like today is Wednesday. It's leg day. But I might be all over the place in what I want to do. Of course I'm going to work my fronts, my quads, and my hamstrings, right? Whatever you do, you always work the opposite. I'm going to work those. And then I'm going to work on abs, my crunches. Some people don't do crunches. I still believe in the old-fashioned crunches, 500 a day. 500 a day. Does it always look like I do 500 a day? No, because, we are ladies. Sometimes we have those days where it looks like we don't do crunches. But when we're doing right, on a good day, You're like, okay, okay. And then sometimes, people just, you can weight train, you can spot train your muscles, but you really can't spot train the fat. The fat is just gonna fall off wherever it falls off. You lose fat, it's just gonna come off. Some people, they lose it in their boobs. Some like it, some don't. Some, they lose it in their hips. Some like it, some don't. Some, they lose it in the waist. Everybody likes that. But you really can't dictate. It's just body type. It's all heredity. No, it's just a lot of things that determines where the fat is going to come off. But you can train your muscles. If you want nice toned arms, you can do that. Train your biceps and your triceps. You want nice toned legs, you can do that. You want nice toned shoulders, you can do that. And the abs, you can do that as well, but it's a little bit harder on the abs for some people because after a certain age, and I've even seen some younger young women and men, their waistline is something else, y'all. Their waistline is a beast. Their waistline can be a beast. It can be a beast. Brian says, I got so self-conscious, shaking my head. I have recorded many videos and have critiqued them. And that then you talk yourself out of posting them. Last Pride, you have mastered the art of posting content. Girl, brilliant. I wish, because see, I want it, when you do it, you want the lighting to be right. And I have lights and stuff, but I don't think that's why I usually just do live. And that's why I'm just mostly a shorts channel. I love shorts. Because like I said, you can make shorts out of everything. I don't worry about the monetization because I often want to use other content. And as long as they don't say, hey, take my stuff down, then I'm good with it. YouTube is good with it too, but they're not going to monetize you real quick. They're not going to monetize you too fast if you're using a lot of other content. Like I said, unless you do the commentary where you're stopping and you may be listening and stopping and listening. I don't want to do that. I feel like YouTube kind of does some people they just do some people a disservice with that because that makes other content creators lazy. Some people know how to do it and do it. Some people know how to do it and do it in a good way, but some people, it's called YouTube. Some people, they get on here and they share their experiences. They share their trips, their vlogs, their vacations, all kinds of their family, all kinds of stuff. And then you have other people who come and just sit behind the computer or phone and talk about it. Talk about what they did, what was wrong with it, what was right with it, what they would have done, criticize, critique, and sometimes just curse folks out about living their lives. That's called doing commentary. But that's on somebody else's content. And people have the nerve to say that that's their content. Well, the commentary is yours, but it's on somebody else's content. And to me, that's just not fair. So I don't even bother with it because that's just not fair. That belly muscle be on strike. Brilliant. That belly muscle be on strike a lot of times, don't it? Sassy says, yes, I'm in the process of working on my arms. Yes. It's crazy to say, but I truly enjoy what I'm doing right now. It allows me to enjoy and support my favorite queens and kings on this app and still have my, normal life as a priority. Yes. Because let me tell you, brilliant. Now, not everybody, but a lot of people who don't like, they like to, support like you do. They're subscribers, but with great potential to become content creators. Some of them say, oh, I'll do it. But girl, when they start doing it, you can't slow them down. When they start doing it, you're like, I knew she had it in her. I knew he had it in her. They was always saying they were gonna do it. Now it's like every time you turn around, you see a short, you see a video, you see a short, you see a video, you see them out on vacation, you see, and that's good. That's what they like. It just took them a while. It took a lot of encouraging. And it's like, now you can't slow them down. Now you can't slow them down. I saw, I was in a guy's chat the other day, and one of his mods, he had been telling his mods, like, do some videos, just do some lives or something. He was like, man, now I can't get that joke in here to mod. He was like, he wanted, every time I turn around, I'm catching a notification from that cat. It was so funny. Because he said it, but it was like he was really glad, like he was really proud of him. Like, because I think they are really friends. I think they live in the same area. They live in the same area. So he was like, man, he said, I messed myself up. He said, I had a great mod. Now every time I turn around, he's dropping content. Or he's live. Him and the wife are out eating. They doing something. And he was like, and I'm going to always support my homie. He was like, because he modded for me and he was a great mod. He's still my mod. He's going to always be my mod. But he was like, I miss my mod. It was so funny. Sassy says, this YouTube is new to me. I only love to do shorts and a few videos. Yeah, it's like, it can be fun. It can really be fun. And I think it's more fun when you know, not telling anybody what to do or saying anybody is right or wrong. To me, it's more fun where you're not looking for a payout. It's more fun when you're not, because it truly does become like a job when you are. And you sometimes get disappointed, whether it's YouTube emailing you saying that you didn't do this right or you didn't do that right. And if you're a person like me, I don't check emails often. It's probably 1,000 in there right now that I haven't checked. You know, so you kind of have to weigh the pros and cons of it. You have to weigh the demand of it. If you're willing to meet the demand that might come with it, especially if you start to grow, you know. And that's why I think some people don't do it for that. They just do it for fun. Because when you do it for fun, again, you don't have to worry about whose content you're using. If you end up using somebody's content and they don't want you to, they'll get you to take it down. They don't strike you, but they let you know that there's like it's not a strike all the time. They can now, but sometimes I think it's just like a copyright notification per se, where they ask you to take it down, or they'll take it down. Sometimes if certain things aren't allowed in certain countries, and you may be looking at it like, what is this? I don't know, I think I told y'all the story before where I made an ice cream cone. And I say, it's hot out there, or something like that. Y'all know they restricted that video. It could not be shown in Russia. There were other countries that it couldn't be shown in. And I see people on here with see-through clothes on every day. April says she shares her life experiences. I'm not looking for money. Right, April. Some people they're just on here for entertainment, to network, to motivate, and to just share their experiences, share their own experiences. So they're not looking for money. They're not looking for monetization. And you know, so it kind of irks me when people say, well, why are you doing it if you don't want to be monetized? Because monetization is just one option. Monetization is not a requirement. Monetization is not everybody's goal. It's like April said, some people's goal is to just get on here and share their experiences. You know, yeah, Sassy, you remember that? Girl, I look at that video to this day, and I still cannot figure out what was wrong with it. It was just an ice cream cone. I still cannot figure out what was wrong with that. There have been times where when I was working out. Now I do work out shorts sometimes, especially when I'm working out my arms and stuff. I'll do shorts because it's easy to kind of just hold the camera and just, you know, show yourself working out with your arms and stuff, with your opposite arm. So, or with my legs, sometimes I'll show myself massaging my legs or using my massage balls. Everything was fine. And then one night, I get a notification. Copyright, what is it called? It's not a strike, but it's a copyright claim or something. Now, if it's somebody else's material, it's a copyright claim. Not necessarily a strike, but they'll do a copyright claim. So if you make any money off of it, if YouTube allows you to, then that money is going to go to them. It's going to be partially monetized or something like that. But sometimes it's like a community claim. It's not even a community strike. Now you can get both, but I'm just saying, it's like I was just working out. They saw my arm, y'all. It was my arm. It wasn't no ice cream. It was my arm, just doing a bicep curl. And I guess it was the angle. Maybe it was the angle. But they restricted it in certain countries. But usually I'll do an appeal, and they had got me like 3 or 4 times one time in so much in a given time, and it was just like I had to like explain to them what it was, and I don't know if the because sometimes it's people and sometimes it's that thing, I guess the automated thing that they have doing it, and so when somebody looked at it, they reversed it. They reversed it. Uh, yeah, Sassy says she remember that about that ice cream. Sassy says gonna share you. Thank you, Sassy. I appreciate that. Green says April showers. There is so much power in sharing your experiences. I wish there weren't so much immaturity right on this app that limits everyone from. Yeah, the immaturity limits people from wanting to do it because they act so crazy. A lot of times they act so crazy. So then, hello, then when they act like that, it prevents people from wanting to do it. Which one, Sassy? You mean the one with the ice cream, or the ones where I was working out? They love seeing those legs, sis. Nice, proud, respectfully. Brilliant. Guess what? People are so. I'm not gonna say envious. I'm just gonna say mean, because a lot of times it's not envious. You know how many? I get a lot of emails where people they won't drop in the chat. They say they just don't do that, or and I understand why. But they're like, your legs are kind of like when we talk about imagery or like ASMR. Sometimes just looking at something move a certain way, just like what are those like an hourglass? Sometimes people just get the joy out of flipping an hourglass over, just watching the sand go down, and then just flipping it over and watching it again. Sometimes people get joy out of, I cannot remember what you call those things, but y'all know like the balls, they hang from a string and you hit one and then it makes the other side hit you know what I'm talking about? What, I cannot think of what you call them. They're like metal balls, I think. I'm not even sure if they're hollow or not, but you hit one and then it hits the other one. So it's like, they say it's just kind of like relaxing. And so you thinking, watching my legs? So that's why I just started saying, watch my legs move, look at my legs move, watch my feet move, look at my feet move, watch the legs, watch the legs. And so you're thinking this is relaxing? But then I have to think about it. Some people like to watch people scratch dandruff. Some people like to watch people scratch dandruff. Oh, the ice cream video, Sassy. Oh, what did they do? They didn't remove it. They what did they do? They didn't remove it, and I think it's still up. It's still up. But it was I want to say Russia, and it was I appealed it. They didn't remove it, and I don't know what happened. I'm trying to make sure I'm not thinking about. I don't think I had to appeal that one. I didn't have to appeal that. What happened was they didn't remove it. They told me it was restricted. So when I went into my email into the studio to check why, it said that the content in that video is not allowed in certain countries. And it named Russia. I don't know if they were naming Russia. I can't remember if it was an example or if Russia was one of the countries that didn't allow it. So they were just letting me know that it was okay here, but they had to restrict it in certain countries. So I didn't have to like appeal that one. But there were two that I had to appeal, and all I was doing was working out. It was just a short of me working out. And when I told them what it was, I was like, that's my arm. I'm like, that's my arm. Because I know things can look funny. Y'all know things can look funny. That's just like looking at a person's breast or if boobs. I don't know what you can't say on here. Looking at their boobs. And some people would think that's somebody's rear end or vice versa. So I know sometimes things can look funny. So I just gave a detailed explanation. This is me working out. I am doing arm curls. I am working my biceps. I'm toning my biceps. And so they removed it. And it happened again with maybe my knee. I think it was my knee or my leg, somewhere on my leg. And so they removed that one. So sometimes it just seems like they just be on you. So a little while after that, there was another one. It was my arm again. And y'all, you could see my clothing. You could see it was obviously like the sleeve where your arm comes through the clothes. Um, I was just doing some more curls, same thing. And they didn't remove that one. They didn't move the restriction on that one. And I was like, I know you got to be kidding me. I see people on here. Y'all, I was on yesterday. There was a girl that had a mask around her mouth. She had a microphone to her mouth with one hand. She had the camera on a tripod or whatever. She had a mask on her mouth. She had a lollipop or something that she was licking on. And she had a big furry microphone. And she put the lollipop in her mouth. She put the microphone behind the lollipop, like between the lollipop and the camera. And she was going to town. And then when she would pull the mic down, and then she would stick the lollipop in the camera and show it to everybody. Y'all, that was the weirdest. I almost cursed. That was the weirdest crap I ever seen. And I'm like, listening to the sounds, you knew what she was emulating, right? And I was like, okay, but you restricted. You didn't take down, but you restricted an ice cream video. You restricted my bicep, me doing some exercises. Like, I was like, what in turn the hell out? Hey, Albert, I can't imagine any video you do being reported restricted. Wow, brilliant. I was like, what in the world? And so and then when they said Russia and some other countries, I remember Russia because that was the first one that they named. I was like, okay, I can kind of see that, but I couldn't because of the video. I wasn't even eating. I had to scooping it up, putting it on the cone, and no music. I said, it is getting hot out here. Or I might say it's hot out here. Like, like the song, but it wasn't the song. And that wasn't why they restricted it. It wasn't about what I said. It was like the content. The content, which what you say can be the content as well. But they were talking about, they were just talking about me making an ice cream cone. I guess that's all they were talking about, because that's all I did. That's all I did. And they would not remove that restriction. But I didn't, it threw me. But once I realized it was still up, just not in those areas, I was okay. I had no choice but to be okay. But I felt better about it. Yeah, I felt better about it. Albert says, okay, brilliant. Albert, when did you sneak in here? Hello, a brilliant blessed message too. I am doing good. When did Albert come in here? I think I remembered him coming. I see he dropped some eyes in the chat. That reminds me of Big Kane. Big Kane hadn't been in here in a while. I'm mad at Big Kane. Brent says, oh my God, now that is what would need. Right. But all this stuff on here that goes on that they don't restrict, they don't, yeah, they may give you one of those warnings like this may contain whatever. But they let people get paid off of it. And I'm like, I don't have time. I don't have time to be going through that kind of stuff. So I like seeing this channels grow. Every channel that grows, I saw a channel today that has 181 million subscribers and it's not monetized. Because they want to do the same thing. They like sharing other content. Sassy says that's crazy. Yes, make sure that notification bell is set to all. Don't miss this positive walking time with us. Don't miss it. And if you happen to miss it, come on back the next day. Come on back the next day or the next time that we walk. We try to walk every day on live. But we take a break sometimes. Or sometimes we just get busy doing so many things and we get preoccupied. But I want to always encourage you to look at the legs move, look at the legs move, look at the legs move. Listen to the birds. The birds are a little bit quiet today. They're kind of quiet today. But look at the legs move and be motivated to move yourself. You don't have to be a marathon runner. You don't have to be an athlete. Just walk. You can do brisk. We can be brisk. We can be brisk. Or we can be kind of slow like I was today. We can be kind of slow. Like a good brisk walk. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, 150 minutes per week. Hello. 150 minutes per week. And if you want to, you can do it every day. You can do it every day. But if you're going to train those muscles, make sure you give those muscles a break, okay? If you're going to do weight training, resistance training, make sure you give those muscles a break. Make sure you give them a break. Thank you, Albert. Brent says, oh my God, that's crazy. They must be rich or well off. Girl, I don't even know. I don't even know. It's nice to see more people out walking though. It is nice because I know once summer kicks in, full blast, you know, it's gonna be really hot. And I hope that, I think what I'm gonna really focus on is trying to be, you know, do early mornings. And I kind of set my own schedule. So I'm gonna try when I'm off in the mornings, do early mornings or keep it to late evenings. Because when I started going live just to come on here and walk and talk, it was during June, y'all, and it was so hot. I had to quickly push the time to evenings. And so, you know how spring weather is, it can be kind of nice around 2, 3 o'clock. So I tried to bring it to 2 or 3 o'clock sometimes. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't because it's so hot. So it just depends on, you know, what spring brings for that day. But I'm going to get out of here, y'all. What's an appropriate regimen for a brand new walker, sis? To me, you know, because we use our legs daily, that is one reason it is good to just walk. And you know, I read something the other day in the news that said walking any at all, like, you know, they say usually most people get around 3,000 steps in a day, 3,000 to 4,000 if they're kind of active. Where they're saying, and they were saying 10,000 was like really good. But what they're saying now, I guess because they've done research, and then sometimes, you know, in doing that research, they see how hard it is for some people to actually meet those standards that they set before. They've said that the 3 to 4 is okay, especially for someone who hasn't done it a lot anyway. That 3 to 4 is okay. And they also said what we already know anyway, any at all is good. Even if you do an extra 1,000 to 2,000, it's good. So if you know, just look at what your day entails. Think about what you do during the day, and get one of those counters that I started wearing and got slack on again, or put it on your phone. Most likely you'll have an app on your phone that will count your steps. See what you do already for a couple of days, like on your busiest day. And then I'd say add like 2,000 to that, 5 days a week, and then go up from there. I say add 2,000 to that, what you already do, just the steps that you get in a day from your daily activities, be it work, housework, whatever it is that you do. And then increase it. And I still suggest getting one of those armbands because that will be on you throughout the day. We really can't have our phones on us all day. And I don't know, the app may be able to work somewhere way that they can figure it out, even if your phone is in your purse. But I really love the watch, the wrist ones. So I would say, wear that a couple of days and pay attention to it by the end of the day. And then after that couple of days, try to add 2,000 to whatever you've gotten. And then, you know, give yourself maybe a month or however long you can and try to get it up to 4,000. I still subscribe to the 10,000 steps a day because that's just what I've gotten used to, you know, and I feel like 8 is good, you know, 9 is even better, and 10 is great. But as long as you're doing good, or as long as you're doing something more than what you did, that's good. So I would say figure out what you do in a day's time, and then try to get 2,000 more in. And it won't be hard. Like, cause it could be, depending on how fast you walk, 15 to 20 minutes. And then if you don't want to do that, like actually counting, I say start with 15 minutes, 3 to 4 days a week, until you can get up to 5 days a week. And once you do that for maybe a few weeks, try to just add another 5 minutes and get yourself 20 minutes. And of course, for me, I encourage anybody to do at least 30, at least 30, at least 30. So, you know, a lot of times you hear people change the requirements or change the minimums. Sometimes they do it because they realize that it's not truly required to do as much, but sometimes they drop those requirements because people find it hard to meet them. People find it hard to meet them. So just think of something that you do for 15 minutes a day that really, I won't say that you're doing nothing, but I'm saying think of something that it takes you, like how long does it take you to prepare a load of clothes? How long does it take you to, you know, to take out a load of clothes? You know, just think of something that takes like 5, 5, and 5. To me, that's like the easiest thing to do. It's just kind of, 5 minutes is not a long time. Well, for some things, it's not a long time. It's not a long time. But it can be a long time. So just try to look at it as adequate time or sufficient time. I think most of us probably, a good load of clothes, it probably takes us, what, maybe 5 minutes to go to the dryer, get the clothes out, and take them back to wherever you're going to put them. So if you can do that, just think of it, just walk in place. Even if you can't leave, walk in place, do it in place. Like when you're at work, brilliant, on downtime, just walk in place, walk up and down the hallway. Walk up and down the hallway. That would be nice, so you aren't roasting during your walk. Nuh-uh. I'm not roasting. Look, while I was talking to you, I kind of getting off track because this car is behind me, and it's a young lady, so I don't feel threatened at all, but I got a little perturbed because I don't know if y'all could tell my voice. I was kind of talking slow and kind of like had that tone, because she's on her phone, y'all. She's on her phone, and there are cars on the street, and she's on her phone. So that's why I kind of stopped a minute ago to let her go, because people do not care. People's need to do whatever they want to do, it's like it trumps needs everybody else's need for whatever. Like the need for safety, the need for her to do whatever she was trying to do trumped her need for safety. So that's why, y'all, when I was talking to y'all, I was sounding a little bit perturbed, because the need for her to find where she was going trumped her need for safety. And I was like, okay, so there's a car there. And she just sees me walking here, but she probably didn't see me walking because she's on that phone driving. I hate these jobs like that. They already reckless. It's like all you can do is pray, 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 pray every day throughout the day. All day, y'all. Last Pride and chat. Good night, Sassy. Good night, everybody. Thank you guys for coming in. I greatly, greatly appreciate you. And I'm about to get out of here too, because I've been on like an hour and 18 minutes. So I'm going to wish you guys, well, I always wish you guys peace, positivity, and prosperity. Because we all know that without peace, there's chaos. Without positivity, there's negativity. And wherever chaos and negativity live, you fail to prosper to your fullest potential. And I want you guys to prosper. I want to prosper. We all want to prosper to our fullest potential. So y'all have a good night. Y'all be safe. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Make sure you spend some time with your family. And make sure you still get a little bit of me time in there. A little bit of time for yourself, okay? Have a wonderful Thursday. Sassy, you have a great first day at work at home this week. And I will see you guys on the next Let's Walk and Talk Live. Bye, y'all.